Hey, what's up everyone? Sorry it's been a while since I last got a video up, but we're gonna get into some practice battles. I'm battling Alan here, and I lead off with Altaria. He leads off with Lapras. It's a water gun Lapras, so as long as I don't get hit by that ice beam, I should be okay, because Altaria resists that water gun and it resists Surf. So he's gonna get a charge move off right here. I'm gonna shield because I think he charged up enough energy to get off an ice beam. So I'm gonna charge up and switch out into my own Lapras. Now whatever he throws at me, I'm gonna resist it, so I'm not gonna block. So he sends out Surf, he switches into Lucario. I get my Surf off, which is perfect for me. He's gonna have to burn a shield if he doesn't want his Lucario to faint. This is a positive matchup for him, so I'm just gonna let my Lapras faint. I go ahead and send out Blaziken, which should be a positive matchup for me. Not by a ton, but still a positive matchup. If he sends out something that's not super effective against me, then I should be able to get this charge move off, which I do. He's gonna have to block this, but he decides not to. He sacrifices it, sends out Lapras, but it's already too late. He's gonna get Ice Beam off, I think. Nope, a Surf. But my Altaria knocks him out. He still had a shield left over as well. But that's game one. Moving right along into this second battle. At this point, I kind of had an idea of what Pokemon I wanted to run, but at the same time, I'm still testing things out, seeing if someone else had a better team than me. So we lead off with the same Pokemon again, and I get my Sky Attack off. He decides not to shield that, so he continues with the water guns, and I decide to shield this, not knowing what it is. It's a Surf. If I had counted his moves correctly, I wouldn't have shielded that, but he gets another charge move off. I decide to shield this too. It's another Surf. I go ahead and just finish this off because I knew he had not enough energy to get another Ice Beam off, but I used two shields. So go ahead and get this Sky Attack off. In hindsight, I should use Dragon Pulse, but I don't have much health left. I do get another Sky Attack off, so maybe it was a good thing I didn't use that Dragon Pulse. But he finishes me off with fast attacks. I have very little health left, but I do have this Ice Shard Lapras, which should be able to knock out his Altaria with just fast moves, so that's a plus for me. He sends out Lucario. I have a Surf charged up. It's gonna burn his last shield. If he shielded, he decided not to shield. I go ahead and switch into Blaziken, which is a positive matchup. He power up punches, but it's not enough. Again, he loses with one shield. So that's going to be something that's very important in this cup, is correct shield usage. Make sure you block things. You don't want to finish the match with unused shields. It's probably one of the harder parts about this cup is using your shields correctly, because if you don't use your shields correctly, they just go to waste, right? So any kind of damage savings could potentially make a difference. It does take some testing and practice to really figure out when to use it, but it's very, very important in this cup. So keep that in mind when you're doing your practice battles. Try to consciously think about, like, hey, should I shield this next charge attack? What could it be? Because with Pokemon such as Lapras, Steelix, Alolan Marowak, like all these Pokemon, Lucario, all these Pokemon have two potential charge attacks that can do different things and different energy costs, which could significantly swing the tide of battle. So shields and shield usage, super important in this cup. But let's get into the next few battles. Moving right along, we're battling my friend Etorius. I send out Altaria, he sends out Marowak. So this is a positive matchup for me. He has Rock Smash too, so it's double positive for me. It's just going to resist everything he has. So he sends out Water Gun Lapras, which is, again, Altaria will resist that water gun. I just have to be worried about that ice beam. As long as I don't get hit by that ice beam, I should be okay. He goes ahead and uses Surf. I block that, not knowing if he has Ice Beam. If I had counted his moves, I might be able to get a better idea of when that Ice Beam was coming. Send out Sky Attack, he blocked that. Now he has another charge move. I decide to shield this again. It is Ice Beam this time. I finish off his Lapras with fast attacks. He sends out Flygon. This is a slam dunk for me. Dragon Pulse should be... If he didn't block it, it would have been over. I go ahead and switch it into my Ice Shard Lapras. Flygon is double weak to it. It's over. He uses Stone Edge, but not enough damage to knock out my Lapras. He has one more Pokemon, which is the Marowak he lead it off with. I go ahead and get that Surf off. He uses Rock Smash against my Lapras, which is dealing super effective damage. He uses Bone Club to knock out my Lapras, but I have 2 Pokemon left, including that Altaria. So Altaria finishes off Marowak, and that's the match. So for these next few matches, I'm going to be battling my good friend Tim, or Team. He's a trainer out in the Tri-Valley area of California, so near Dublin, Pleasanton area. So I lead off with Lucario, Bastiodon. Bad matchup for him. He switches out. I go ahead and charge up just enough to get Shadow Ball and use Power Up Punch. His Marowak is running Hex, so he's going to charge energy up very fast. I decide not to shield this, which is probably a bad decision, but he Shadow Balled my Lucario and knocked it out. I send out Bastiodon, and I'm dealing super effective damage to him, but with his Shadow Ball, it's going to deal a decent amount of damage, but Bone Club will also deal a decent amount of damage. I knock him out with fast attacks and have a charge move ready. He sends out Lucario. I get this Flamethrower off as soon as I can. He's gonna block it, obviously. If he has shields, he should block it. I have one more Pokemon left. That's Blaziken. I have 2 shields left, so I'm obviously gonna use one right here because Blaziken's kind of squishy already. I should win this matchup, but I did have to burn another shield. I get one more counter, knock out his Lucario. He has Bastiodon left, so whatever. If I can get this overheat in time, which I do, I should be able to knock out, but he had a shield left, and that's my downfall right there. He gets a Flamethrower off, and even though not very effective, still knocked me out. So he takes the first battle. I think we end up doing a best of 3. Going into this next battle with Team. So what I like to do with my battle partners is pick 6 Pokemon and try to do a best of 3. So whoever wins 2 first will win the... So it's pretty much, it's like a mock tournament. So I lead off with Blaziken, he leads off with Kingdra with Dragon Breath. I just wanted to see how this matchup worked. So I got a charge move off, but he didn't. But he's left with very little health. He should get a charge move off right now, which I will shield. Hydro Pump. I go ahead and knock out his Kingdra with my counters, and I get some charge left. So he goes ahead and sends out Marowak. I try to get this Shadow Ball off, and I think he blocks this. Yes. If he didn't block it, it would have done a lot of damage. I go ahead and send out Bastiodon. He gets a Shadow Ball off. I decide not to shield that. I have 1 shield left. Again, this is dealing super effective damage. He decides to switch to his own Bastiodon. I go ahead and get this Flamethrower off, and he decides not to block it. So this is something you'll probably encounter in your own tournament. Bastiodon mirror match is just going to be back and forth. Just 2 very tanky Pokemon dealing neutral to not very effective damage to each other. It's kind of hard to tell exactly who will win. In this case, he will win versus my Bastiodon. At this point, I don't think my Bastiodon is powered up all the way. but he knocks it out with Flamethrower. I send out my Lucario, counter him down. I'm trying to charge up my Shadow Ball, which I do, and this is gonna knock out his Marowak. Super effective. He had no shields left. So I took that best of 3 with team. So like I was mentioning, when you're battling when you're doing these practice battles, I suggest you pick a team of 6 and have your opponent pick a team of 6 and battle each other that way in a best of 3. So this way you can kind of replicate the feeling of an actual tournament. And even if you aren't sure on which 6 you're going to be bringing into the tournament, having that limitation of those 6 Pokemon will give you a better idea of how that team is going to work out for you. Because if you constantly have the full pool of Pokemon available to you, it doesn't really give you a good idea of how any of your 6 Pokemon are going to perform together, if that makes sense. So another suggestion that I have is when you have your team of 6 already and you have a potential 7th or 8th Pokemon, you have to think about not only why you would add that 7th or 8th Pokemon to your team of 6. You also have to think about your team of 6 and why you should take one of those Pokemon out. Because I can always make an argument as to why to bring one of the Pokemon that aren't already in my team of 6 into my team of 6, but I can't always make a good reason or find a good reason why to take one of the Pokemon in my team of 6 out for that Pokemon that I'm trying to bring in. So make sure you weigh both situations, not only like the positives of the Pokemon you want to bring in, but also the negatives of the Pokemon you want to take out. Very important, and that's just another suggestion or a tip that I have when you're trying to come up with a team composition. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to keep this video relatively short. More battle videos to come. I have a ton more battle videos. I've been practicing pretty much non-stop. This tournament has been extremely hard for me to pin down. I'm still making changes to my team, so that's why I haven't come out with my team picking video. So but make sure you stay tuned. My tournament is coming up very soon. I haven't participated in one yet. I'm actually kind of nervous about this tournament. There's a lot of rock, paper, scissors element to it, but it also makes the tournament kind of interesting. That's pretty much it, guys. If you haven't already yet, make sure you subscribe, and if you could help me out and like this video, that'd be great. Yeah, that's it, guys. Best and West. I'll catch you guys later.